What's up, good people? Eric Taylor, Taylor to You Coaching. I'm back. Pluto Generations. So this is my Pluto series. Hades, the underworld. Pluto in Sagittarius. All right. So when did we have this generation? 1995 to 2008. And now, from 08 to, I think, 2026, we're still in Pluto and Capricorn. And maybe I'll do that next. But this generation, we're going to break down Pluto and Sag. Eric Taylor, Taylor to You Coaching. Ring the bell, subscribe, all that stuff. You know how to reach me. Or at least tailoretoucoaching@gmail.com. You want to book any services, check out the website, tailoretoucoaching.com. Read all about what I do, what I got. Join my Patreon family. But 95 to 08, so we're talking 13 to 26-year-olds. This is Generation Z. Okay? My middle son misses this, but my older son is in this generation. And a lot of my clients, a lot of you, you know. And, that Pluto Scorpio, Pluto Sag, Pluto Libra. I've done it all. Even have gone all the way to Pluto Leo and Pluto Cancer chart readings. So I've gone from Capricorn to Cancer. I'm not your private dancer. So what's Pluto? Okay, it is power, sex, transformation, really transmutation, the soul's psyche, hidden occult knowledge, secrets, espionage, secret government, right? Secret societies, psychology, death and rebirth, right? And the transmutation is really the scorpion, because Pluto rules Scorpio, the 8th house, going from that like scorpion to the phoenix rising and then ascending to the eagle, hopping on that airplane. The sun. So Pluto is also, the merging of the souls, inheritance, other people's resources. So what's Sagittarius? Right? Ruler of the 9th house, ruled by Jupiter. Wisdom, beliefs, philosophy, guru, shamans, your father's teachings, luck, fortune, where you shoot your arrows for your blessings. It can literally be religion, your pilgrimage, right? Foreign travel to learn, higher education, getting your master's. 5th house is like college, right? High school, college. 9th house is master's, PhD. Okay, where you might research and study biology and finance. This is all under Sagittarius. And it's being jovial, optimistic. The Bachelor, Bachelorette sign. It's about freedom and adventure. It's mutable fire. Sagittarius cannot sit still. When they talk on the phone, they gotta move around, So, and they're very intelligent. Sometimes arrogant. They really like freedom to pontificate, to learn. But it's, it's the higher mind. It's, the philosophical mind. These people are extremely philosophical. It's not Gemini logical mind, like there's a tree, there's the bush, there's the house, there's the park. So when you have Pluto here in this generation, they haven't had their Saturn returns yet. So even if you guys watch this in the future, a lot of them are still 3-4 years away from their Saturn returns. Right? Or 25 to 26, 15 to 16 years away from their Saturn returns. And so you guys are still learning. You're still growing, maturing. You're extremely intelligent. You're very philosophical. You prefer sort of peace over war. You want to talk. You want to exchange ideas and knowledge. You want to figure things out. You want freedom. You don't want to hear from your parents. You don't want to hear from this one. You need to respect your elders, and you're learning that. But you have this inner wisdom that makes you think you know more than you know. And sometimes you've got to seek advice of your guru, shamans, your father's teachings, your elders, so then you really can get prepared for life's obstacles and things you have to overcome. Not saying you're not supposed to do it by yourself, but it's always good to take in information and knowledge, put it through the rinse cycle, and then apply it so you can be your best self. You know, you want to get your birth chart done so you can see what house this is in. Because Pluto in Sagittarius in the 5th house is very different from the 10th or the 9th, right? Or the 12th house. It's asking you, what do you need to heal? What trauma and crises and pain did you go through that you need to heal? What do you need to let go and surrender and really change and transform, right? You guys don't necessarily do the relationship things so well. And you're babies, so you don't need to. You're still so young. But you want freedom. Some of you might not think about marriage at all yet. But remember, Pluto can bring sort of the extremes. So you can be, OCD, obsessive, or very possessive and controlling in a relationship. You don't want to talk down to someone. You don't want to be arrogant. You got to watch how you speak, right? This time period in this generation, this is it's Gen Z, but this is when really you had Microsoft 95. The first word from Microsoft and Bill Gates. Then later on, you started to get the flying in of Apple, and then, not that Apple wasn't around already, because it was, but then, during your time here, this was the iPhone. I think, well, definitely iPads weren't around yet. I think the first iPhone was somewhere around between 07 and 2010. I can't remember. Maybe it might have been after you guys. But Apple was starting to flex. People were starting to look at their philosophies in different ways. It wasn't so much of, religion. It was more of seeking spirituality from, research study. It's the mixture of biology and finance. So it was business, it's mega churches, it's all this stuff. So you guys are trying to decide, are you going to accept the teachings you got from the Torah, the Quran, and the Bible? Or are you seeking something separate and different? Are you going to go left? Are you going to create your own belief system, your own philosophies? How and what are you transforming? Will you traumatize from an overly dogmatic upbringing? Are you, because this is what's fascinating about in terms of what Pluto does. It's making you guys learn how to, you're becoming independent, but at the same time, some of it is you're too independent too early. You're driving the ship by yourself and you're just crashing, messing stuff up, and not saying like, hey, should I be turning right here? Should I go left? You're not seeking advice. See, Pluto and Virgo, my generation, and even Pluto and Libra, we would look to the elders and always listen to what old folks said, because then we knew we could take it, put it through our rinse cycle, and put our spin on it, but we wanted to seek that knowledge from those before us. You guys can't sit still. You want to venture and different beliefs and different cultures and, freedom in relationships. It's, yeah, no, I know. That's what I'm trying to explain. It's how are you going to soar, but how are you going to heal your inner pain and trauma and crises so that you can gain the right knowledge, stick to your core beliefs and philosophies, transform them and then stick to them. Are you ready and willing to move to another country? Are you ready to go learn a foreign language? A lot of you have, gone to school online, studied online, traveled abroad, and some of you are still in college now, trying to deal with spring break or no spring break, college online or what, or go to the classroom, or wear a mask, don't wear a mask. There's so much going on in your lives. Whether you're in high school or in college or in grad school or working, you're gonna figure it out. But don't be afraid to ask for help and some guidance and assistance. It won't hurt you. You don't even have to accept it all, but just getting another viewpoint, someone else's philosophy that's already lived before you, can only help you and add on. It's not going to destroy you. It won't take away your need for freedom. I see where some of you get, bogged down and you think you've learned something from, Wikipedia or the internet and you take it as gospel. No. That's not how it goes. I had to explain to my son about what you see on Google. I was at the Million Man March. I know the difference between what they say in the newspapers. I remember the New York Times tried to put a grid and said, there was only like 600,000 people there. Well, yeah, if you put a grid at one period of time, you can capture and guess how many people. But when the day goes from like 9 to 6 or 9 to 7 at night, and you got people coming from 9 to 1, people coming from 1 to 4, people coming from the beginning to the end, from 10 to 2. I was there most, if not the entire time. There was anywhere from 1.1 to 1.4 million men and some women, but black men there at the Million Man March. It was beautiful. It was historic. This generation, you guys respect other cultures more than past generations. Maybe except, you might be in there with the Pluto and Virgo too. But you guys are open. You're not, that's the one thing that's so beautiful about you guys. And you need to influence the world, and as your Saturn returns and you become 28 and 30, and then it starts to mature between 33 and 36, continue to lead the world with an open mind, that adventurous spirit, that acceptance of all cultures. We need that from you. That makes you greater than everyone. Because you guys are so smart. But you have to understand, sometimes your need for adventure and freedom is rebelling against people that love you. Your parents, your siblings, whoever, your grandparents. Some of you Pluto and Sag, you still got, Pluto and Leo grandparents around. Or maybe some Pluto and Virgo grandparents around. Talk to them. Talk to your parents or grandparents and see how they handled college, first job, high school. I know when you're like young and you're exploring, you think that people that are older didn't do the dirt you're doing. Shh, come here. Let me tell you a secret, Pluto in Sag. Pluto in Cancer, Leo, Virgo, some of the best to ever do it. They got their freak on. They did nasty stuff. They experimented with drugs. They had fun. They partied. They, raged against the machine. They rebelled against systems. What do you think the 60s were about? The hippies. Even in the 80s and 90s, hip hop. Pluto and Libra. Hip hop by nature, and what's happening right now is not hip hop. Your generation, this is, now that's the other thing, Generation Z. Like, it's not about just trying. You want to, and maybe it's because you can't sit still. I don't know. Sit your ass still, focus, perfect your craft, and improve your skills. Just because you tried something, or just because you got a record deal and you're streaming something and it sounds like a hot mess, doesn't mean that it's good. It just means that people are finding ways to put out more ignorance and pimp you. Hard work will pay off. And your willingness to understand that you have to let go and let God, and you have to surrender, that's what Pluto is saying. So that way you can understand how to handle relationships, negotiations, business, your beliefs, your education, your philosophy, how to write a book, how to seek and soar for your fortunes and your blessings. Jupiter's the law. Sagittarius is about, follow my laws. You guys don't like the laws and the power structure and the systems. And that's okay. Everything's broken. That's what the last couple of years, the stellium and Pluto and Capricorn was all about. Capricorn's going to be heading at 26 degrees, I think, in another year or two when it gets to 27 degrees. That's the Pluto return for America. Get ready for that. It's okay to explore, because what happens, one imprint that you see through astrology with Sagittarius, and it's not necessarily everywhere it's placed, but definitely I've seen it with the sun and the moon, is it has trouble transforming from what was instilled as a child. So if you were even taught hatred and prejudice, it's hard for you to think outside of that. If you were taught Christianity, you were taught to be a Buddhist, so always keep an open mind and have the philosophy that like Bruce Lee, in terms of gaining and seeking knowledge, allows you to know if you agree or disagree with a topic, a subject, or a belief. To just judge it when you're ignorant of it and know nothing about it, it's not good. It's not the wisdom. It's not a wise man. And make sure you're following the right teachers and gurus. And you'll know, because they're not going to speak about anything that's self-hating, violence, arrogance. It's going to be more about compassion, spirituality, empathy, respect, love. Okay? But, you guys are going to do what you're going to do. Remember, it's a yang energy. You're fire, so you need to be on the move. You need to be around people. So you need motion, and you need someone to bounce something off of. So, just make sure it's the right people. A lot of you guys got your Neptune in Aquarius. Just take advantage of all this that's going on now, the last year and a half, 2020, 2021, even since 2016, and understand from someone older that this isn't normal, and it's going to create and force tremendous changes. And that's what the Great Conjunction was bringing in. Your third house, if you're a Sagittarius ascendant. Saturn, Jupiter, and Aquarius. It's affecting you and your generation. I think you guys, you have some special powers. And it's about how you can expand, because Sagittarius, Pluto in Sagittarius is expansion. So you can expand your occult knowledge. You can expand and get so philosophical and spiritual about numerology and astrology. Learn human design. You could expand your healing powers through meditation and prayer. But you have to kind of really be willing to surrender and let go and let God. That's where the power comes from. The power doesn't come from, oh, I know this and this and that, and I am. No, the power comes from, I need to receive and learn and have an open mind and not possess, obsess, or control things, so then I can really mutate and transmute and transform from my traumas, my inner child, my childhood. And this might be hard for you to grasp right now. And maybe your parents are watching this and they need to talk to you about these things to set you right. Especially if you're on the 13 to 14, 15 side. And I know a lot of you are giving your parents hell. Don't do that. Your parents made you. They love you. Even if they weren't capable of this and that or whatever, and maybe they're not so great, but still forgive them, because that brings freedom to you. And you guys love freedom. So get that energetic and that spiritual freedom. Because none of us are perfect. No generation, no sign, no human. Okay? And, you're going to be forced to transform because of the events that are coming soon. And it's going to be okay. It's going to be healthy for you. But just understand that, every day is changing. From cryptocurrency to Bitcoin to automation, driverless cars to science is God, like all this stuff. You're seeing so much play out. So open up and listen to your root chakra. That's how God is really going to talk to you, right? Get in tune with your intuition. Meditate. Turn off the face chat. Snapchat, sorry. Sounded like Bill Belichick. Turn off the Snapchat and the IG and spend some time just quiet and alone in your thoughts, meditating, and manifest. Pluto in Sag have the potential to be the greatest manifestors of them all, because your archetype is Jupiter, the fortune, the luck, the blessings, the optimistic nature. So stay with that positive mindset, but then speak positively about yourself. And that's why you have to transform, so you can heal. And don't OD on sex, and don't OD on, thinking you're the smartest in the room, and don't OD on your religion or your education. Have balance. Ask questions. Seek and gain wisdom. Be open to your beliefs and philosophies. Because that's what's so great. We can be going one direction, but we can see or learn something different or change and then go another way. Or merge the two philosophies and beliefs. That's part of your superpower. Remember, you gotta, and it's hard when you're young, especially with all this technology you guys deal with. God bless you. I love you guys. I love my oldest son. But understand, so much of what's around right now is so fake. And you guys can be above it. And I know you're brilliant on social media and all that stuff. And you guys are going to change the whole game. But just do it with the right heart. And the righteous heart is not judging people for the color of their skin, their sexuality, who they love, or who they want to marry, or any of that stuff. Because when you get so dogmatic and you start to put people in these boxes and judge them, only God knows someone's heart and soul. And this is a karmic placement. This is about you probably in a past life having to deal with a belief system that you've got to let go of from a past life, and then, bring in something new in this life. And maybe in a past life you were in prison or in a wheelchair. You didn't have freedom. Pluto is allowing you, depending on what house it's in Sagittarius, to use the intense root chakra. Because remember, Pluto rules the elimination organs, medical astrology. Sagittarius rules the hips and thighs. So don't obsess and overeat. And, just be smart. Be safe. I know you're out there having fun and doing your thing. But just, every once in a while, because you got to move, just pause and get deep. Because when you do that, and you can't be afraid of wanting to change or admit that you're wrong. That's part of the journey of life. That's how you heal. That's how you transform. That's how you elevate. You're not always right. And it's okay. No one is. So you can say it out loud. You can be a big boy and a big girl. Say, I'm sorry. I apologize. I was wrong. I'll do better. I will adjust. I will erase. I will correct. That can be very difficult. But that's going to bless you and fill up your heart with a real truth. Okay? So Pluto in Sag, I salute you. Thank you. Gosh. 13 to 26. Interesting generation. Generation Z. You're talented. You're gonna be all right. Stay curious. Stay in your opposite polarity of Gemini, where you're seeking ideas and exchanging with people and thoughts. Don't close yourself off. That's where the arrogance and wisdom comes in. You're like, oh no, I already know, I don't want to hear. No. That's where you've got to embrace the Gemini energy. And talk to everybody. Because you guys are open to talking to different religious backgrounds, cultures. That stuff is not, you're not caught up in that. Now, some of you can be another spectrum where you're not. You could be taught or raised in a doctrine where you have got that brainwashing of hate and evil and prejudice and racism, and just it's not going to serve you. It won't exist and survive in the age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius doesn't have anything for that. And I want you to learn astrology and numerology, because it is a secret ancient knowledge that they hid from you, that they don't want you to know about. It's a super science. It's not a game. It's a daily horoscope. No. It's not just your sun sign. And God controls the entire universe, every planet. You see the connections. You see the connections between the sun, the moon, Mercury retrograde, the farmer's almanac, the lunar calendar. So if you can hear it and see it, then you've got to start to learn about it, so then you can accept it and believe it and see how it can help you transform and transmutate and become your highest vibration and your best self. And hit me up, tailoredyocoaching@gmail.com, so I can do your birth chart. I got you. It's Pluto and Virgo's got you. I got Sag in the second house, and I can tell you how to use your Jupiter and your Sagittarius placements in your chart to help you manifest. Alright, so do you, be you, change you, heal you, transform you, love you. Got this. And make sure you help out Pluto and Capricorn. They'll need you. They don't know how to have the fun and adventures like you. They're going to be look at what they're going through. From 08 to 2026, and we're in 21 now. Just imagine. They're gonna need you. You're their older cousins, their older brother. I guess some of you could wind up being a parent. It might be early, but it could happen. It's already happened for some of you. Do your best. Work harder than hard. And love yourself. Alright? Pluto in Sagittarius. Pew, 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 pew. Holla at your boy, alright? Get your birth chart done. Oh, and you'll love it. The full 12th house report, written, spiritual homework, videos to watch, to learn, and then a 40 to 50 minute custom video summary summarizing your whole zodiac wheel and placements and chart for you. Very entertaining too. And I just break it down so you can understand, even if astrology is so foreign to you, when I break it down, I give you more than one example. When I do the chart reading, it's not just, I've seen what other astrologers do, and I'm not knocking nobody, but what I do is so thorough. It's thorough, like the borough I'm from. And it's also Virgo, Scorpio, Capricorn, which I am. Okay? It's intense. Because I want you to not just get this, but I want you to understand it and learn it. Because once you learn the flow and the energy of your birth chart, life becomes so much easier. As a parent, for your children, for your education, your communication style, your friends, your relationships, your marriage, your career, your work, your medical astrology, your health, in the 6th, 8th, and 12th house, all of it. It's so important, muy importante. ¿Tú sabes? Mira, escucha. Aprender cabeza. ¿Comprende? Es completo. Señor, Astrological Coaching. Thank you, Pluto In Sagittarius. I'm out. Peace.